Royal and humble greetings to each and every one. On this video, we're going to be going through the great Rholihlahla Mandela's family tree. Now, the most important thing to keep in mind when talking about the Mandela family is that it is a royal family within the Thembu kingdom. That means Nelson Mandela himself was a chief or inkosi, and we'll get to show that on this family tree. The Mandela family originates in the Eastern Cape. And what many people don't know is that Mandela, which is Nelson Mandela's surname, was actually a person, Mandela kaNgubengcuka, who was Nelson Mandela's grandfather. Mandela was the son of King Ngubengcuka of Thembu Kingdom. King Ngubengcuka succeeded his father, Ndaba, around 1810, and he united the Thembu Kingdom before British colonial rule. King Ngubengcuka had many wives, including Nonesi Kafaku, who was also a regent for the Thembu twice. Nonesi Kafaku was the daughter of King Faku kaNgqongqoshe, with his right-hand wife, Nokweya Noqiya Wamabomvana. Now this is very important to note because this is how a nation is built. A king marries a woman from another royal family to produce an heir. Now looking back at King Ngubengcuka, who was also called Vusani, the king of Thembu, he had many children, including 6 recorded sons: Nxaphaya, Nthokrara, Joyi, Nqanqeni, Simakade, and Mandela. Nthokrara succeeded King Ngubengcuka as king of Thembu, and it is where the current king comes from. But we're not going to be talking about that on this video. We're going to be focusing on the Mandela family. We have a video that we did on Thembu Kingdom. Make sure you watch it to get a clear understanding of the kingdom. Now, being a brother of a king, this made Mandela a prince, and he grew up to be a chief of Mvezo. Mvezo is a village on the banks of Mbashe River, not far from Umtata, Eastern Cape. Mandela had many children, including Gadla Henry Mphakanyiswa Mandela, who became his successor. Gadla Mphakanyiswa Mandela is the father of Rholihlahla Nelson Mandela, which he had with his wife, Nosekeni Nonqaphi Fani. Nelson Rholihlahla Mandela also had other siblings, including Nomabandla Mandela, Constance, and Mabel Nodancu. Nelson Mandela got married 3 times in his life. His first wife was Evelyn Ntoko Mase, and they were married from 1944 to 1958. And together, they had 2 daughters and 2 sons, with 1 daughter passing away at a very young age. Madiba Thembekile, who was their son, had 2 daughters, Ndileka and Nandi Mandela. Makgatho Mandela, who was their second son, had 4 sons, including Inkosi Zwelivelile Mandela, who is the current chief of Mvezo. After the death of his father, Makgatho Mandela, in 2005, he was chosen as the successor and the head of the clan in 2007. Some of his duties involve tribal ceremonies, settling disputes among clan members, and the representative of the tribe in political issues. His relatives are Ndaba Mandela, Mbuso Mandela, and Andile Mandela. Another child that Nelson Mandela had with his first wife, Phumla Makaziwe, who had 3 children, Thukwini, Dumani, and Kweku Mandela. Nelson Mandela's second wife was the famous freedom fighter, Nomzamo Winnie Madikizela Mandela. They were married on June of 1958. and Winnie was just 22 years old. Together, They had 2 daughters, Zindziswa Mandela, who went on to have 4 children, Zoleka, Zondwa, Bambatha, and Zwelabo Mandela. Zinzi Mandela Hlongwane was a South African diplomat and a poet. One of her most popular poems, Black as I Am, was published in 1978. She served as her country's ambassador to Denmark until her death in 2020. She also served as a stand-in First Lady of South Africa from 1996 to 1998. Princess Zinzi's sister was Her Excellency, Her Royal Highness Princess Zenani Mandela Dlamini. She is the sister-in-law of the King of Eswatini, Mswati III, and the daughter of Nelson Mandela, with his former wife, Winnie Madikizela Mandela. She had 4 children, Zaziwe, Zamaswazi, Zinhle, and Zezozuko Dlamini. In 1998, Nelson Rholihlahla Mandela married Graça Machel, the ex-wife of Samora Machel, former president of Mozambique. Nelson Rholihlahla Mandela didn't have any children with his 3rd wife, but through this family tree, we can see that he had a total of 6 children and 17 grandchildren. Even though Nelson Mandela chose to follow his political career and fight for the freedom and liberation of South Africa, his cultural identity as Inkosi, or a chief of the Mandela royal family, remains intact and continues through his grandson, who is now the Inkosi of the royal family in Mvezo, Eastern Cape. Another thing to note about this family tree is that majority of the grandchildren kept and used the Mandela surname instead of their father's surnames. For an example, Nelson Mandela's daughter with Mama Elvin Mase, Dr. Phumla Makaziwe, was married to Isaac Kwame Amua, and their son is Kweku Mandela. Her 2 children that she had with her first husband, Tsamaku Balfour, are also using the Mandela surname. Even on this side of Mama Winnie, the children of Zinzi Mandela use the Mandela surname. It is the children of Zenani that took their father's surnames. Now that was Nelson Mandela's family tree. If you enjoyed this video and you want to see more family trees, do write your suggestions on the comment section below.